Die My Love is out in theaters, latest film from Lynn Ramsey, based on a novel by Ariana Harwich, starring Jennifer Lawrence, Robert Pattinson, Sissy Spacek, Nick Nolte, and Lakeith Stanfield. It is essentially a very honest, very dark, disturbing examination of a postpartum depression, possibly mixed with other mental issues, of what a woman can go through during and after pregnancy and how left unchecked, those mental problems can destroy the once happy relationship. It is told non-linearly, with the timeline jumping back and forth between the pregnancy and what was after. It's done in a kind of artsy way with scenes that initially seem like they don't make too much sense because they're more of an indirect representation of the main character's mental state rather than straight reality. Um, I have to say, I really liked it very much, although initially I found it maybe too strange. I think the first 15 minutes or so, I was getting ready to dislike it, but then the film slowly won me over, becoming consistently better as the time went on. I loved how shades of grey it is in the way it presents its narrative. Initially, it seems like Grace is a complete victim of the situation. She is cooped up at home with an emotionally and physically distant husband, partner. She struggles with her abandoned passion, writing, with running the house, with people giving her unsolicited advice, with her unmet sexual needs. But then the longer the film goes on, the more you realize that she's actually being kind of abusive too. She's violent and destructive and self-destructive. And as much as one can have a reasonable cause for having mental breakdowns, one still, at least in the logical sense, speaking as a healthy person, one still should do something about them, try to get better. To me, the best scene in the movie was kind of an eye opener was when she finally gets checked into the mental institution, and then she comes back home after some unspecified amount of time, and suddenly the house is repainted, the living room is nice and clean, there's new furniture, and you realize, and I think she realizes too, that her presence is harmful for the rest of the family, that they are doing better without her, as heartbreaking as it is. And this is the crucial part. The movie, at that point, doesn't try to excuse the husband or the mother-in-law or her problems. She doesn't, the main character doesn't become a sort of straight. She doesn't become vilified against an innocent world. She is a deeply troubled person. And then the second crucial part is that ultimately she might be unable to do anything to get better, and perhaps that is the point of the film. She cannot reason her way out as a healthy person would, out of the situation, and attempt to get help, which leads to an ending that can be read as either suicide or walking away from your family for good. I loved Jennifer Lawrence's performance. I think she's great in this. It reminded me a little of Mother, where she also plays a woman trapped in her own unhappy house. I also thought Sissy Spacek was very interesting because she plays a person who is also troubled and who gives pretty bad advice most of the time, but it's sort of clear she doesn't do it out of malice, but rather because she's misguided, and she's sort of trying to do the best she can. I also love the way the film looks and sounds. It's got great cinematography. It's shot in square ratio with some striking scenes in here. Very cool look of the night scenes, which they achieved by shooting day for night in order to make it look a little bit unnatural, a little bit eerie. And in terms of sound and editing, there are moments in here which are deliberately abrasive, literal jump scares and sudden blasts of loud music, which I think are designed to to be uncomfortable for the audience, but work very well at that. I liked it a lot. I think it's a fantastic film. It's not for everyone. It's not the easiest, but it is a really harrowing exploration of a theme that I think is rare in movies.